Welcome to the Workamper Show, a podcast devoted to helping you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. I'm Steve Anderson, the president of Workamper News. Each one of our episodes will either introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to opportunities to work short-term jobs. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Thank you, Steve. Over the course of my 20-year career with the RV industry, including 3 years of full-time RV travel, I must have talked to thousands of RV owners. One of the common desires among people who like to RV is that they want to visit Alaska someday. Today, we'll explain how to get paid to do so. This episode is sponsored by the National RV Training Academy in Athens, Texas. The Academy's one-week live training or home study course will teach you everything you need to know to fix about 80% of the problems people experience with their RVs. You can sign up for additional training to become an RV inspector, campground technician, or to provide mobile RV service. For more information, visit www.nrvta.com. Our guests today are Shauna Hansford and Erin Redington with Alaska Excursions, or Alaska X for short. Their company caters to guests who arrive via cruise ship. Alaska X offers several fun excursions for the cruise passengers, and the firm hires work campers to guide, drive, and escort them into some of the most fun adventures they'll ever have. Based in Skagway, Alaska, Alaska X offers dog mushing experiences as well as zipline adventures, horseback riding, and a wilderness adventure as well. The firm hires about 120 work campers for a variety of jobs each summer. They greet people coming off the cruise ship and direct them to the right buses. Workers drive buses, fix and maintain equipment, and sell merchandise at various stores. They escort guests on horseback and even on dog mushing excursions. They answer phones, respond to email, and make presentations. In exchange, they get paid between $14 and $16 per hour and get free admission to tours and excursions offered by other companies in the area as well. Most jobs are 35 to 40 hours per week from the middle of April to the end of September. Sounds like a fun way to spend the summer in an area of the country that features a Kodak moment around every corner. To tell us more about Alaska Excursions and what it takes to become a work camper, please welcome Shauna Hansford and Erin Redington to the show. Now we're going to go all the way up to Alaska, America's playground, to talk with a couple of ladies who have a lot of fun, exciting, and interesting things for work campers to do. We have Shauna Hansford and Erin Redington with Alaska X. How are you folks?
Doing well today. Great.
That's great. And you guys are based out of where?
We're based out of Skagway, Alaska, which is down in southeast Alaska there.
Skagway. And we were talking a little bit before we started the interview, and you folks work primarily in developing excursions for people arriving in Alaska on cruise ships. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Our company, Alaska X, we offer various excursions to cruise ship passengers visiting here in southeast Alaska. Our main base here is in Skagway. We have several different adventures here. We have our Mushers Camp, as well as our Grizzly Falls ziplining, our Chilkoot horseback adventure, Glacier Point Wilderness Safari, and Glacier Point ATV adventure. In Juneau, we also have a Mushers Camp there. But as far as work campers go, they'd mainly be interested in our Skagway location, as that's where we have our own RV park.
Your own RV park, okay. And what kinds of things do the work campers do when they're working for you?
Yeah, we have a great variety of positions that we're looking to fill each season. Everything from, front desk personnel answering phone calls, emails, the folks down at the dock who greet our guests coming off of the cruise ship, retail sales staff, maintenance crew and mechanics, down to guiding positions as well. Folks who will drive our shuttle buses or who give presentations to the guests about dog mushing, horseback guides, all sorts of really good variety of interesting positions.
How many people do you employ in a typical season?
Yeah, generally each summer at our Skagway location here, we have about 120 individuals on staff for the summer season. Our summer season here generally runs from about middle of April till the end of September.
Okay, the end of September, so you're almost coming up to the end of the season.
Yeah, we're getting close here. I've just a couple of weeks left right now.
Countdown. I visited Alaska once a number of years ago, and I went in the middle of May and found it to just be fascinating. Although I don't know if I could ever get used to having light out 24 hours a day. That just kind of freaky.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty neat. It does take some getting used to having a whole bunch of brightness there. Kind of, May, June, July, it's really bright out a lot of the time. August, we finally start getting back to having some darkness, can see the stars and the aurora at night. But man, Skagway is a beautiful place to be. Just mountains and the ocean, all sorts of really cool trees. If you like hiking and nature things, it's a great place to come.
Well, I remember Alaska having a Kodak moment around every corner, and so I think a lot of people would really have fun coming up there. It's one of the best commercials I ever saw years ago was put out by the Department of Tourism up there in Alaska, and they had a bunch of guys in fishing outfits standing in front of a stream where the salmon were actually leaping out of the water. And they were saying, no, there's no good fishing here in Alaska. Don't come up here. It's way too cold. Obviously, that wasn't the case. So it's a fun place to spend a summer.
It is a very fun place to spend the summer. So many great things to do, all sorts of neat people that you can meet. It's just, like you said, Kodak moments around every corner.
So the workampers are basically working for your company. They're not working for the excursions themselves, right? So they're not going to be mushing dogs and running the zip lines and things like that. They're basically going to be working with the people coming off the cruise ship to direct them to where they need to go?
Well, a little bit of all of those things. Some of our staff direct them to the buses and where they need to be. Some of the staff are driving the buses to get people out to their adventures. And then some of the staff are the folks that are out there being zipline guides or being the dog mushers. So, it covers a little bit of everything, just depending on the position that they've been hired for.
Are there special requirements for people who want to work for the company?
Yeah, as far as specific qualifications go, everybody does need to be CPR and first aid certified, and some positions do require special licenses. Like our CDL drivers that drive our short 24-passenger minibuses, they have to have a Class C CDL at minimum with a passenger endorsement. Boat captains have to have the appropriate captain's licenses. But for many other positions, as long as the person has the right attitude and, we're willing to train them for the position.
Okay, and this is something they have to have, or those special licenses and requirements, they have to have that before they can apply. It's not something that you help them to attain once they get the job?
That's a great question. So, CPR and first aid certification, they will need to have that when they arrive. Any kind of a captain's license, if they're applying for a boat captain position, they do need to have that ahead of time. The CDL license, we are able to train and help them obtain that license once they get up here to Alaska.
Okay. And how many hours a week do the workampers typically work?
Yeah, most of the time our staff are going to work somewhere between about 35 to 40 hours a week. Some weeks at the beginning of the season might be a little bit slow as it starts to pick up the cruise ship season. Then we have a really super busy middle of the season all the way from about last week of May until about the first week of September. And then here at the middle to end of September, it will tail off and start to get a little bit slower again as cruise ships reposition to different areas of the globe.
Mm-hmm. To the warmer climates. Yes.
Exactly.
So do you folks work with singles or do couples have to apply?
Nope, either is just fine and dandy. We're happy to accept any applicants who are interested in coming on up here to have a great summer with us.
Okay. What kind of perks do you offer the work campers?
As far as perks go for employee perks, we do have, like I said, our own RV park, so it is generally just our own staff that are there in the RV park. And, as far as other kind of perks go here in town, what we are able to do is we offer, complimentary tours to staff of other companies, other tours offered around town. So, our staff can go on their tours, their staff can go on ours. So it's a great way to see a little bit more of Skagway while they're here and in town.
Mm-hmm. Are these paid positions that you are hiring for, or is it just the complimentary?
Yes, another great question.
Yep. Okay.
They are paid positions, so we do have an hourly rate for our position. Depending upon the position, hourly rate starts somewhere between about $14 to $16 an hour. All positions are eligible for an additional $2 an hour as an end-of-season performance-based bonus. And many of the positions, the guiding positions, are within the company's tip pool. As far as our RV park goes, we do have spaces in the RV park that are available there for rent, and it has sewer, water, and electric hookups, all that good stuff.
Okay. What kinds of things do you expect from the work campers? Are there any special character traits that they need? You had mentioned they'd had to be good people. People.
Kind of characteristics that we expect from our staff members. We want to have people that are Yeah, we want to have people who are here to deliver an incredible experience to our guests. A fun and outgoing personality is something. You need to be fearless when it comes to entertaining individuals, not afraid to, get out there and put it all on the line. We need folks who are safety conscious. Lots of our adventures have, elements of safety in there, driving the bus, zip lining, that kind of thing. A strong work ethic is another really good thing, and also a positive attitude. Positive attitude in just about anything in life can overcome a whole lot. And we also look for folks who are great team players. We work as a group to make sure that we're giving our guests the best experience they can possibly expect when they get up here. So, team player is another big one.
And do you work with people of all ages, or are you looking for people who are younger who can just man these zip lines and do all this kind of stuff?
We do. We look for people of all ages. We have something for everybody up here as far as positions go. So some of the younger generation, yes, they tend to go for more of the zip lining guide positions. But some of the more senior individuals, like my mom, for instance, who works here, she drives our buses and helps out in the office, and so there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Okay. And do the work campers have to commit to the entire season when they're hired?
Ideally, we do like individuals to commit for the full season. It really helps staffing-wise to have somebody who's there from start to finish. But we do occasionally have some positions that allow for a little bit of flexibility, that can come for, a couple of months out of the season, but don't necessarily have to be here for the full thing.
Mm-hmm. Erin, what do you do for the company?
I'm the general manager for the company, I would generally describe myself as glue some days, doing a little bit of everything to make sure that the show keeps running. Okay, very good. And Shauna, what do you do?
I'm in sales and marketing primarily, but again, a lot of us being the team that we are, kind of step in certain places throughout the summer and the season and do whatever is necessary.
Mm-hmm. And when do people, or if people wanted more information about the opportunities that were available at Alaska X, is there a place they could go to get that?
Your question cut out. Could you please repeat it?
Oh, sure. If people wanted more information about the opportunities that are available through Alaska X, is there a place they can go to get that?
Yeah, if anybody would like more information on Alaska X, just go to our website, www.alaska and then the letter x.com, and go to the employment page. It has answers to many of the questions there. And also, please feel free to reach out to us, jobs, J-O-B-S, at alaskax.com, and we're always happy to answer any questions. Okay. When do you start interviewing people for next year? We're going to do that here right about the 1st of October. We'll start interviewing for next season and getting folks hired on to come and join us for an excellent adventure. Wow, that's early. So you guys are people can start applying right now for one of these jobs. And then when do you Yes, the sooner the better. We know it takes a lot of planning to come thousands of miles away from wherever you are to visit us up here in Alaska for the summer. And so we do get our hiring process started as soon as we can. And when do the hiring decisions made? Are they made throughout the winter then? Or do they
Yes,
people
correct. We'll make our hiring decisions throughout the winter. Generally within no more than a couple of weeks after you've been interviewed for a position is when you could expect to hear back about a decision one way or the other.
Okay. What are some of the more fun jobs that people are doing? You had mentioned riding a bus and helping on the zip lines and things like that. What are some of the things that people find most interesting about working for you folks?
It just depends on the individual's personality. Like you say, you get all different age groups, and across the span of age groups, everybody's always interested in, something different that draws them there. Some of the things that folks who are really into the history love doing is just, those guiding positions, like the CDL driver for the bus, getting to share knowledge that they have found extremely fascinating about the area with so many people that are coming up here is a great one. We have naturalists on board our vessels that take the guests to the Glacier Point location. They can sit there. They get to talk for like an hour about the beauty of Alaska around them. And, some people just find that absolutely something they really, really love doing. Those that are a little bit more into the more adventurous daredevil side, then, the zip lining thing is kind of great for them to get people's hearts racing while they're out there on the course. Okay, very good. It sounds like there's a lot of things to do, a lot of variety in there. For scheduling purposes, are people scheduled for specific days? Are they working like 8-hour days, or are they 4-hour days? Do they have time off to be able to explore the Alaska countryside, if you will? Yes, definitely. We make sure that all of our staff have time off to explore explore the Alaska countryside here as they want to. And also it's important to be able to recharge your batteries there. So what we do is most staff will work either 4 or 5 days a week. And so they have a couple days off to make sure they have time to recharge, explore, that kind of thing. Sometimes the days, we do try to stick to about an 8-ish hour day. Occasionally they will get a little longer. Sometimes staff will work about 10 hours in a day. But all of our positions, there's nothing overnight or anything. Most of the positions, they're going to start no earlier than about 6:30 in the morning, and everything's pretty much done by about 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, and that's because the cruise ships have to depart. So that's when everything ends and people have to be back on board and on their own adventures and waiting for the next group to come in.
Yep, exactly. We get our quiet small town Skagway back every evening.
Super. Well, thank you very much. This has been fascinating information, and it sounds like a great company with a lot of exciting, fun things to do. And I would encourage workampers to visit your website again, and that's alaskax.com, and go to the employment section to find out more information about the various jobs that are open.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, and we do hope to have some folks interested in joining us up here for the excursion of a lifetime next summer.
I had the opportunity to visit Alaska in 2006, wherein I interviewed an RV dealer who rented hundreds of motorhomes and truck campers to tourists every summer. After the interview was over, I was able to take one of the RVs and travel the state for about a week. It was probably my all-time most memorable business trip. I got to take a boat to visit the glaciers, I saw the northern lights, and experienced the 24 hours of daylight that Alaska provides. I even got a chance to see a multitude of wildlife at Denali National Park. It was an incredible experience, and I'd return to Alaska in a heartbeat. That's why I'm grateful to Shauna Hansford and Erin Redington for taking time to talk to me about work camping opportunities with Alaska Excursions, or Alaska X for short. If you'd like to help people have a good time, there's a job waiting for you next summer. The cruise industry is huge in Southeast Alaska, and all the passengers are looking for ways to make their trip to the last frontier even more memorable. You'll live in a community with hundreds of other RVers, and once the ships leave in the evening, you'll pretty much have the town to yourself. But there's plenty of other things to do as well. You're just a few hours away from the Yukon Territory of Canada, and Juneau is a short ferry trip away as well. I'd encourage everyone to check out the opportunities awaiting for them with Alaska Excursions by visiting www.alaskax.com. Then grab your camera for a memorable summer. Whether it's running a business from your RV or working short-term jobs for a variety of employers, Workamper News can give you information to help plan a course to live your dream and get you on the road faster than you thought possible. For more information about opportunities to live, work, and play in your RV, visit www.workampernews.com. This episode is sponsored by the National RV Training Academy in Athens, Texas. The Academy's one-week live training or home study course will teach you everything you need to know to fix about 80% of the problems people experience with their RVs. You can also sign up for additional training to become an RV inspector, campground technician, or to provide mobile RV service. For more information, visit www.nrvta.com. Thursday's episode will feature a millennial RVer who supports his travel lifestyle by work camping in a unique way, and that's by aiding in storm cleanup efforts. That's all we have for today's show. See you next time on The Workamper Show. Thanks for listening.